Hello everybody, Mr. Storm here. Welcome back to Factorio. In the last episode, we worked on tweaking a few of the last things that we needed to begin manufacturing our rockets. In particular, I'm doing some upgrading. In particular, the output of our sodium nitride. So that should be able to support what we're doing with it. And then decided on where our actual spaceport is going to be. And so we set up the loading area. And I went ahead and finished it off, got everything all built, got the trains bringing in all the materials that we need. And so we should be ready to go ahead and actually start manufacturing things. So that's what we're going to start doing. Alright, and so the first thing we're going to need to do is build rocket engines. And to do that, we're going to need tungsten. And so we have tungsten right here. Alright, and so for this, we're going to need to make tungsten gear wheels. That's it. Okay. This is nice and simple. Tungsten gear wheel. We're going to put the output like this, feed it into this to make our rocket engine, which... where are those? None of that. There it is. Silly. All right. And that does not need any modules? No. And it will output 3 per second. Rocket engines. Alright, there we go. Okay, so next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to crank out our heat shielding tiles, which we're going to need our silicon nitride and our tungsten carbide. Silicon nitride is right here. I am bringing the tungsten carbide down here into this requester silo. And we're going to need 6 sintering oven tubes. Alright, you're making heat shielding tile. You're going to need 3 modules. Alright, oh, nope, nope, that's not where we want that. That's where we want that. The rate at which we're producing heat shielding tiles is again 3 per second. Right. Now, that's a slight issue. Are we not making sintering ovens? I guess we aren't. And did I run myself completely out of inserters? Pretty much. What am I short? Alright, I am short reinforced concrete. Alright. Alright, there we are. I just need to get reinforced concrete deliveries, and I should be able to hand make them, which is probably going to be faster than trying to go in there and set up a production line for them. So alright. The next thing we want to do is get our low density structures. Our low density structures are going to use 5 assembly machines with aluminum, titanium, and plastic. So there's our titanium. Now okay. The titanium is in sheet coil, so we're going to have to convert that into plates. All right, then. .7 per second. 5. Actually, we're going to do this a little bit differently. You are going to convert the sheet coils into plates, and then we're going to output like this. And you're going to need power. Alright. Excellent. There's our plastic. Alright, so we needed 5 with 2 modules. Okay, and then we'll need our plastic. Low density structure. So it was 2, right? And why don't they go up more? So I could do it with 2 with 6. Right? Okay. You know what? 8 with 1. I think makes a lot of sense. Just to divvy up things. And that's 8, right? Yeah, that's 8. I got those sintering ovens. Okay, yep. Okay. So they'll make our low density structures. And then we need to make our satellites. Now, the low density structures are going to have to get split. Okay, so we're going to need 1. This has got so many inputs. Six inputs. Let's do it like this. So what you're going to be making is you're going to be making the satellites. These guys. Alright, and the satellites are going to get the radiothermoelectric generators and the radars. Flip those around. Alright, those head in, and then we need... You don't need any of these products, right? No. We don't need these products. We don't need rocket engines. What we need are the fuel, the silver zinc batteries, and the rocket control units. Here's our silver zinc batteries. Yep. Okay. That should be easy enough. Oh, no. I want to go down a little bit further than that. Okay. And then we need our rocket control units. And these are going to get split because they're going to go in two different directions. How many? Yeah. Plenty capacity. Alright, there we are. Let's get rid of this stuff. And then the fuel, which that also is going to get split. Alright, and there we are. And then we need our first rocket silo. Titanium pipe. We need heat shielding tile. I need low density structure. not getting enough aluminum through? No, we wouldn't, would we? No, because this would need to have 2. Now I need how much? 50. Okay. It's not a problem. There we go. And then we're going to need some rocket control units, which are up here. We need 25. And there we go. That's sodium perchlorate. All right. And so our actual rocket launch platform, the rocket silo, is going to be up here. And I have no modules. Okay. All right, so we're gonna need what? How many inputs? 1, 2, 6 inputs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to have this one. 6. Wow, they just pick up as individuals. They don't stack at all. All right. Now this needs the heat tiles and the rocket engine, so let's go grab those. No, we can come through there. Now, we actually do need to have an output that is going to go into a passive provider chest. There. Okay. And where am I going going to send this. We're going to send it up here. I'm sure I picked some up. Yeah, there I did. Okay. Man, I could just dump it right on that belt. But we'll give it its own independent inputs. Alright, and then we need the... Right, because each rocket is going to need 3. We're only going to be using a 10th. Ultimately. Something doesn't seem right. Alright, well, I'm gonna guess it is. Because that's what the math says anyway. Alright. So now we need to provide the rocket control units and rocket fuel. Can I put the heat shield tiles in there? No. Put them there, though. Alright, and then the rocket fuel. Yeah, we'll shift that over a little bit to make that line up just a little bit better. And we can say auto launch for cargo. Yeah, I don't think this is going to produce 3 per second. Well, we have to see how much it's actually going to produce. So let me wait for this to launch, and then we'll get our first rocket launch. All right. The first rocket is complete. I turned off the automatic launch. Alright, push it. And there she goes. And we're technically done. We've launched our first rocket. Alright, but no, that is going to dump out a whole ton of space science. Like, a lot. And we're going to say auto-launch them. Like, what, 1,000 space science? Something along those lines? Okay. I think we might need something bigger than this, this little passive chest. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a passive provider warehouse. There we go. Okay. And that is just going to launch and produce space science. But I'm not quite done. I'm not quite done. We have a lot of research we need to do yet. Now, over here... This is where we're going to have our requester chests and outputs. Yeah, that should do. And we're going to request the space science packs, as many of them as we can get. Actually, let's do a requester chest 3. There we go. And I also want to go check how the alien science is working. Where's our issue? Is yellow. Okay. We still have a bunch to do in terms of vehicle research and other stuff, but you know what? We're going to go jetpack equipment 4. Because I can actually go grab some of that rocket fuel. Is it rocket fuel I want to grab? Yeah. We'll grab some of that rocket fuel. Now, did I research... There we go. Jetpack equipment. I need to figure out how to build our power armor. Oh, it wants modules. Low density structure, 30. Alright. I'm gonna need to borrow that. There we go. I'm pretty sure. $30 times 1,000. It's gonna require 1,000. Our flying fortress. Alright, there's our power armor. Mark 5. We need speed module 8s and efficiency module 8s. So we actually need those individual modules. That's somewhat annoying, but doable. Alright. Well, that's something we're going to work on. And this is a low density structure that is kind of our problem. Alright. But yeah, we'll go ahead and stop here. And we'll work on some of this other stuff when we come back. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment. And I will see you next time.